Elton John, or Sir Elton Hercules John, was originally born with the name Reginald Kenneth Dwight. In his early years, he was a piano prodigy, and he was awarded a scholarship to the Royal Academy of Music at the age of 11. In 1967, he met his major songwriter, Bernie Taupin, after they both responded to an ad in a trade magazine about an audition that they both failed. His first American hit, Your Song, in 1970, catapulted his career. A Rolling Stones review from that year comments on the diversity and spheres of influence of his self-titled album that houses the hit. He's equally effective in belting gospel-y rock and roll waves like Take Me to the Pilot and the already much-covered Border Song, neither of which one can resist leaping up heatedly to boogie to, in a tuneful snarl and intoning pretty McCartney-esque ballads like Your Song, I Need You to Turn To, or First Episode at Hyanton, in a warm, intimate, and wonderfully sympathetic tenor. In No Shoestrings on Louise, a respectful send-up of the Stones' Dear Doctor, he manages to sound like the perfect synthesis of all the luminaries mentioned above without once removing his tongue from against his cheek. In 1994, Elton John was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He was nominated by Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, who claims that no one has been there more for inspiration than Elton John. Elton John was a notorious entertainer. According to Britannica, he was an old-fashioned, gaudily costumed flamboyance reminiscent of the Las Vegas piano legend Liberace. In the 1990s, Elton John was the first male pop star to declare his homosexuality, and his numbers were never affected by this declaration. In September of 2022, he was awarded the National Humanities Medal by President Biden. This medal honors individuals and organizations whose work has deepened our nation's understanding of and engagement with history, literature, languages, philosophy, and other humanities subjects. For Elton John, this is referring to his extensive efforts in the global fight against HIV/AIDS through his organization, the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which has raised over $660 million to support HIV-related programs in 55 countries. And in May 31st of 2019, the movie Rocket Man, which is a musical story of Elton John, was released. It combines many of Elton John's musical hits into the story of his life. In an interview with Paramount Pictures, Elton John and Bernie Taupin praised the movie and actor Taron Egerton, who plays Reggie Dwight, as they say, and I quote, "There are very dark moments in the movie, but the music lifts it out of the darkness, and not only did he, being Taron Egerton, have to perform my life, he had to sing my life. And when I look at him singing and acting, I am not looking at Taron Egerton. I'm looking at me, and that's what moves me." Elton John is currently performing on his final tour, the Farewell Yellow Brick Road Tour, which will end on November 20th in Los Angeles. I had the opportunity to see him on his final tour in Cleveland, where he thanks his audience and says goodbye and explains his wish, and I quote, to spend the remaining years of his life with his husband and children.